Hello, guys. We're here to talk about some very important and dangerous aspects in a car when you don't do. To be precise, 7 things to avoid before driving a car. There are so many things people underlook or undermine just because they're in a haste or something. So we are going to brush down on those points. Number 1, skipping vehicle checks. A whole lot of people do a whole lot of this. You get up in the morning, you just step into your car as you start your car and you're going without going around the vehicle to check if the tires are okay, under-inflected or over-inflected. Check under your car if there are spillages. You could have a messed up tank where your fuel is leaking. You can have a messed up braking system and your hydraulic is faulty and leaking. And if you don't check all those things, what's happening? It is either you take your life or you take somebody else's. So always be very, very careful and particular about checking your vehicle in the morning before leaving your building. Point 2, driving distracted. This one is very common with our youths today. We have our headphones that is falling off. You're struggling to pick. You have your cell phone. You have a message from a friend you need to check. You have a video call. You have your buttons with the navigational systems in the car. Instead of looking at the road, you are struggling to set up the GPS. You are struggling to do 1 or 2 things. Fidgeting, that's driving distracted. As we said, if it's not your life, it's somebody else's life you may take just being distracted in a car. When you're behind the wheel, you are the master of the car. There's no car that will leave a building on its own. Point 3, driving under the influence. This particular one has taken people's life. Lots of accidents around the whole world. Just thinking about it gives me some goosebumps. There are so many people that say, when I've taken 1 or 2, that's when I'm really sharp. I've heard that a lot of times. So now when I don't cuddle 1 or 2, now that time way my eye really shine for road. That's bullshit. That is not accurate. So please, if you're under the influence of any drug of any type, avoid being behind the wheel of a car. Please. Point 4, ignoring weather conditions. This one is interesting because I don't know how you can want to ignore something that is not of your doing and you can't control. If the weather is not favorable for driving, the first thing you do is stay off the wheel. You stay away from the car. It is not your fault, so don't push it. God has a reason why weathers do change, so obey. When you see that the conditions for you to drive your car are not favorable, just let the car be for your safety. That's point 5. Rushing or being late. This one is good. I don't late for Njangi. Whoa, 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 whoa. And that's how it ends up. It's better to be late than to be sorry. I've heard about so many stories where somebody was in a haste, ended up with a damaged car, and ended up with a hefty fine from the authorities for driving recklessly, and then still ended up failing the Njangi. So I think being late is not a reason for you to drive recklessly. Though I know some people get carried away, like myself at times, but not behind the wheel. So if you are late or you are rushing, please drop your temperature down, take your time and drive properly. Being late is better than to be sorry. Point number 6, neglecting to buckle up. We all know what that means. It's here for a reason, guys. It's here for a reason. It took so many engineers with high studies and diplomats and courses to fabricate a whole vehicle, and it took somebody with a big brain to put this here. It is not for no reason. It is not for fancy. It's not to use it to hold and tie your drinks. No, it's for your safety. When buckling in, most cases where there's an accident and the driver was not buckled in, lives are lost. It is better to have an accident and stay fixed on your seat than to be ejected out of your seat, being hit through the window or through the windshield. The probability of survival are very slim. So please, buckle up. I emphasize on this, guys, please. We go now, point 7, driving when tired. If you're tired and you have a co-pilot, don't say you don't want somebody to drive your car. If he's able to drive, give the keys over to the next pilot or driver. If not, take the time to stop, break your seat, and have a rest. Where you are going to is probably important, but I believe staying alive and looking good is also important. So driving while being tired is a risky business. So in conclusion, by avoiding all these 7 things, I believe we will have safer roads, safer people, and even happier people. Because without any problems like this, everybody smiles. See you.